Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're situated on this great, big, beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation. It is Monday, the 11th of August, 2025. And I'll tell you, there's no shortage of material for yours truly because the propagandists are at it 24/7, 365. And guess what? We see them. And you know what, you guys? You won't be trusted anymore. No. Once you lose that trust, it's almost impossible to get it back. That's the truth. Anyway, welcome to the WTF Reports. I'm your host, Dave Van Kleist, and I broadcast live from 12 noon until 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, do the math. If you're listening live on the East Coast, that's 2 p.m., and if you're on the Pacific Coast, that's 11 a.m. So if you're listening during that time, you're listening live. If you're listening of some other time, then that's a rebroadcast, so you can't call in. However, if you are listening live, keep the phone number handy. It's 215-867-8255. That's 215-867-8255. I always welcome phone callers, always, but I try to keep you on topic. Please don't grab the steering wheel and take me on a different direction, okay? Unless it's really important. You know, I'm open for any type of discussion, but we try to keep it on topic. Anyway, the WTF reports are brought to you in part by the Wave Watch. Now, you regular listeners know I've been, banging the drum for the Wave Watch for quite some time, and there's a good reason for it, because it's Tesla technology, it's frequencies. And those frequencies were defined and notated by Royal Raymond Rife. And if you know what a Rife machine is, then you know a little bit about it. But what's really unique about the Wave Watch is that Linda Banber figured out how to shrink this thing down into a wristwatch. And you wear it. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing mine right now. Let me see. Can you hear that? Yeah, okay, that's... excuse me. That's a program I'm running now for my eyes. I've been bouncing back and forth between some different frequencies for stress and for relaxation and for back pain. And right now I'm running a program for my eyes, and it seems to have been helping my eyes. I've reached a plateau right now, but maybe it's because I'm not using it exclusively for that. But anyway, if you want to check out the Wave Watch, I would highly suggest you do so. Go to our website, TheWTFReports.com, and click on the sponsors button, and you'll see the pop-up there. That gives you a coupon code. If you use the Red Pill 100 coupon code, you'll save $100 on the Wave Watch. So that said, all right, where do we go? There's so much going on right now. There are some people that are pretty ticked off right now. There was a podcast, and I don't know who the gentleman was. There were three guys sitting there talking, and one of them lost his mind because... Well, I'll let you hear it. I mean, this is just staggering. Listen to this.
Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, just passed a bill. The House of Representatives just passed a bill that gives the soldiers of the IDF, that's the Israeli Defense Force, you now have Israeli Defense Force foreign military receiving United States military benefits.
This is true,
Wow,
folks.
what he just said, what Joey just said, people here can't even afford health insurance, and now they're giving it to a foreign country, which in my opinion is a fucking enemy. They're the most disgusting, evil country on earth that has attacked the United States multiple times. And you're going to give them benefits? And you're telling me these motherfuckers deserve to live? These politicians deserve to be alive? Get the fuck out of here. They're all fucking traitors, and they deserve to all be fucking hung.
Wow. Well, tell us how you really think. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to edit that out a little bit. You can figure out what he was saying there. But when does it stop? When do we stop having some other country being, on the front? The number one concern, the priority. When does it stop? Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is out there on the front lines right now, exposing what's going on with AIPAC. And you know what? She's not the only one. Now, your regular listeners know that I've been screaming about this for a long time. Now, this is not to say that I'm an anti-Semite. No, you hate Jews. No. I'm sorry. Your elected officials take an oath. They swear allegiance to this country, the United States. You didn't take an oath and swear allegiance to the state, the Zionist state of Israel. However, it's deeds and not words, and their deeds are indicating that their priorities are for Israel. And you just heard it. If Mike Johnson passed a bill that allows the IDF to get the benefits from our military, wait a second. What about our military? What about our veterans? How many homeless veterans out there? Did you know that veterans commit suicide once every 22 minutes because they've been so screwed over? You remember there was a campaign, a TV commercial that was floating around about 20 years ago. You remember the phrase, an army of one. You too can be an army of one. Join the United States Army, an army of one. Yeah. Well, guess what? You don't find out what that really means until you've done your terms of service, your tour of duty, and then you get back and you're discharged. And now, dude, you are on your own. That's what I think it meant. And for your regular listeners, you know that I go back a good solid 35 years in supporting our veterans. That's what brought me together with Joyce Riley. Why the two of us joined forces and with the American Gulf War Veterans Association. And we were trying to help not just the vets from the first Gulf War, but from the Vietnam War and any other veterans that are getting the short end of the stick from the VA and from the United States government. And I think there's a reason for that, because the U.S. government knows doggone well that our veterans are well-trained and they took an oath and they know what that means. And if there was ever to be an uprising in this country, I think the veterans might be on the resistance side. They wouldn't be standing with the United States government because they've been screwed by the United States government. And I got to tell you, again, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she and Tom Massey, as far as I know, they're the only members of Congress who are not accepting money from Israel, from AIPAC. And everybody's starting to notice this now. I mean, this is like a tidal wave that's coming towards Israel. And again, this is not to hate Jews. This is to hate what Israel has become. And I remind you that Israel was a people. It's not a country. It never was. The Israelites fled from Egypt. Why do they call them Israelites? It was because it was a people with a belief system. It was never a country. However, there are evil people out there that hijacked the concept of Israel. And, when you're dealing with the likes of the Rothschilds and Lord Balfour to create, with the Balfour Agreement, to create a Zionist, that's the key word, Zionist state of Israel, to create a country. That's not biblical. It's not. And they claim to be God's chosen people. Well, then how come they have to use tanks and guns and bombs to obtain this country? This is nuts. But there was a young man who posted the following comment, and I'm inclined to believe with him. All you folks that are supporting Israel and all you elected officials that are taking AIPAC money, guess what? Your days are numbered. Listen to this.
Israel just killed another journalist, this time from Al Jazeera, for reporting on their war crimes. They're starving people to death. They murder journalists. It's endless, the sickness. This is genocide. It's ethnic cleansing and genocide. It's land annexation. They've committed every war crime there is. The 2026 midterms are coming. It has to be that support for Israel is political suicide. That's the only way. That's the only issue you need. If you support Israel, you don't get a vote. You have to make that happen, America.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe him and to agree with him. Any country that has to use this type of brutal force, and the guy that was just talking was referring to the Al Jazeera reporter who was been on the scene in the Gaza Strip. And, Netanyahu just announced that he's going to have a ground offensive and get this job done. Okay, so whoever's left, whatever Palestinians are left that have been crammed into the very bottom of the Gaza Strip, and they're all being starved to death, And I've seen the videos of all of these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Palestinians starving, and the IDF opens up this quote-unquote relief center. And they basically are herded into an area where they're just scrambling for food. I mean, they probably have enough food for a couple of hundred people, and yet they let thousands in, and they're all just basically rioting. They're starving to death. They're desperate. And then the IDF opens fire. I've seen the videos, folks. It can't be denied. I mean, this is what they're doing. And these are God's chosen people? Seriously? This has been going on, they say, it happened since October 7th of 23. No, this has been going on for 77 years, folks. Ever since the State of Israel was established, the first thing they did in 1948 was what's called the Nakba. It was the first push to eliminate all the Palestinians, to start displacing them, throwing them out of their homes, destroying their lives, destroying their olive trees. The olive trees have been around for 1,000 years, and they just cut them down. I mean, this is just so evil. And again, it's not that I hate Jews. That's got nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, there are many Jews that are standing up against Israel. Let me see. Here he is. Let me see. This is Chaim Bresheath, and he's an Israeli Jewish scholar, and he made the following statement. Listen to this.
There is nothing Jewish about the Jewish state. Nothing Jewish about it. But for 2,000 years, when Jews were living in societies that were not range against them, like in Iraq, 2,500 years, a peaceful Jewish community lived in an Arab Muslim country without any problems until Zionism came over. Israel is not a Jewish state because it is against Jewish history, against Jewish tradition. But there is nothing Jewish about occupation, about stealing the land, about apartheid, about genocide. There is nothing, not a single Jewish tradition that is backing this illegality, this immorality. And we need to say this loud and clear to Jews who support Israel. Shame on you that you have decided to support a militaristic society which is illegal and immoral and anti-Jewish, and you have abandoned Jewishness.
Yeah, and not only that, but the actions being taken by Netanyahu and his regime are endangering the lives of Jews all over the world. You know, unfortunately, a lot of Americans, and indeed a lot of the world population, is just not as educated as they used to be, especially in this country. The Department of Education, we should call it the Department of Indoctrination, is what we should call it. And of course, it is the entire system of the Department of Education is a direct result of the Rockefellers. Now, we could get into that whole discussion, but we all know that. But the bottom line here is that because of the fact that the people are so uneducated, they don't know the history, they don't know, what's been going on with world politics. Those of us who have been paying attention and who have been, screaming from the rooftops, there's a price to pay for telling the truth. What do they say? The truth is hate to those who hate the truth. Anyway, so now, now we're looking at the end game. Okay, Netanyahu just announced that he's going to finish the job. I mean, Trump said to him, finish the job. So he's going to go and finish the job, which means he's going to send in ground troops. Now, isn't that a coincidence that they just killed the reporter from Al Jazeera? He went in there. But whoa. Stop, guys. Stop. Okay. I'm scrolling through here, and they just automatically queue up. But anyway, so Netanyahu says he's going to go in there and finish the job. They're going to clean out what's left of the Palestinians in the south of Gaza. Okay? Now, where are they going to put them? What are they going to do with them? Now, we're talking about an entire population that is on the brink of death from famine. Stage 5 famine. I mean, there's no turning back for a lot of these people. There's no way that they can ever recover from this. I mean, the carnage is just unbelievable. And starvation is a horrible death. And this has been basically hoisted upon the Palestinian people. So if Netanyahu's going to go in there and finish the job, what's he going to do? Oh, well, these guys are too emaciated. They're too far gone. We can't revive them. Let's just kill them. Put them out of their misery. It would be the humane thing to do. I could see that happening. But the point is, when Netanyahu said he was going to do that, well, the first thing they wanted to do was take out any journalists there that might be able to report on what's going on. So that's exactly what just happened. So, I mean, this is just horrible, just horrible. As a matter of fact, the polls have come out. This is a woman by the name of Miriam Francois, and she was basically telling about how the rest of the world feels about this. Listen up.
UK youth, a striking 54% today, believe that Israel shouldn't exist. We have seen the most deranged behavior from Israelis. And I'm not just even talking soldiers. We've seen deranged behavior from soldiers, but we've seen deranged mothers on TikTok dressing up their children, with black eyes and missing teeth, or making fun of parents losing babies. We've seen soldiers urinating on Palestinian captives, children attacked by dogs, sexual assault, rape. At a certain point, for those of us who are looking at Israeli societies, this is looking psychotic. Are Israelis aware that public perception today of Israel is of a deeply depraved society? I mean, you can put all the Hasbro spin that you want on this. There is no putting lipstick on a pig.
Public opinion is turning against Israel. And here was his solution to that.
I am living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
Okay, that was Jordana Cutler from Meta. Okay, and now we're going to hear from Norm Coleman. He's a Zionist lobbyist.
Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman at AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, it's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on.
We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
And when we do that, the future of Israel will be strong.
Mm-hmm. So they're losing the digital battle, and well, they should. As a matter of fact, Netanyahu said a couple days ago in a press conference that they've got to get their bots in place. And you know what else he said? He said the anti-Israeli comments that are being made on social media are the result of bots. They're not real people. Oh, really? I think it's just the opposite. I think all of the pro-Israel posts that are showing up on TikTok and Instagram and X, I think a lot of the pro-Israel posts out there are the bots. I mean, they have an entire legion of techies that's all that they do is create bots so they can post on Facebook. Seriously. So you get the impression that there's all these people that are supporting Israel, but they're not. It's the exact opposite. But this is just horrendous. And yes, they are losing the digital war. And I think that they're going to lose the overall war as well, because the world has awakened. I mean, some of the demonstrations that are going on all over the world, I mean, in Australia, I saw the demonstrations, they just shut down all of Sydney, not just across the bridge. You know where the Opera House is, and those the building that looked like a bunch of clamshells? And the bridge that goes across, completely shut down all the way downtown Sydney. And that's just Sydney, Australia. The demonstrations are going on all in Japan, in Tokyo. My gosh, they lost track. They said it's over 1 million, maybe 1.5 million people. I mean, the whole world is seeing this, and there's no turning back from it. And again, to all of you members of Congress and the Senate, if you're taking money from AIPAC, and there's an awful lot of you, you're demonstrating where your allegiance is. And America is waking up. America is actually seeing it now. And I don't know how anybody can look at what's going on and not be absolutely disgusted. And for those of you who are just not paying attention, you got your head stuck in the sand, this song is dedicated for you.
Go ahead and watch your show. Don't try to learn, don't try to know what's going on around you. channel surf and watch your game a world away. It's not the same. The difference will astound you. Turn away, deny your fear, and believe it won't happen here. The news is too depressing, and the facts are too distressing. So look away, say it ain't so. Close off your mind so you won't know. Ignore the problems that need solving, and while your world's slowly dissolving, look away. And while you're lying in your bed, don't think of all the people dead who were innocent of any crime. Another world, another time. Been convinced that you just won. There's not a thing you can get done, and so you live inside a bubble because you don't want any trouble. But there's so much we can get done, a million multiples of one. And when you see it all around you, what we accomplish will astound you. Your destiny depends on you. You'll be surprised what you can do, but you can never visualize if you don't open up your eyes. Open your eyes. And now the time has finally come. We can't be blind or deaf or dumb. It's our responsibility to look around and think and see. I know you're frightened, yes, you're scared, but we must all soon be prepared. Your greatest challenge is before you, and your survival will depend on the fact that you will never look away. Yes, your survival will depend on the fact that you will never look away. Don't look away, don't look away, don't look away. Don't look away, don't look away, don't look away. Don't look away, don't look away, don't look away. Don't look away, don't look away, don't look away.
Now, don't look away. The coming generations will either applaud our activism or they will curse our apathy and complacency. That's what our destiny is, folks.
All right, let's go to Chicago. Say hi to Jerry. Jerry, thank you for holding. You're on the air. What do you got?
Hey, this is what I got for you. I started using that GetMoreTank.com back around May in 2 different vehicles. And I'll tell you what, my fuel economy went up in one of them, Toyota RAV4 2019, and went up about 4.6 miles per gallon. I keep track of it.
Wow, good for you.
And 2019 Ford Transit with a 5-cylinder inline diesel engine, I went from 15.8 average to 17.2. And I'm also putting it in my chainsaw. I haven't noticed the difference with the chainsaw. I can't figure fuel economy on that. But, hey, that's all I wanted to say to you. Have a good show.
Hey, Jerry, thank you so much for the endorsement. It's a good product. It really is. And not only that, I'm sure that everything's running better as well. I noticed that in my my Toyota Highlander. When I hit the gas, I almost feel G-forces, you know. So, hey, thank you much for that endorsement, Jerry. I appreciate that.
Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now, the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. yours. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary. And you can get More Tank by visiting our website, TheWTFReports.com. Click on the sponsors page, and there's a window there where you can click on the Get More Tank website, and you can read all the specifications and all the stuff about Get More Tank, how it works, why it works, and of course, it will help your vehicle, depending upon your make, model, and year, and also how you drive. Doesn't make any difference. You will see improved performance. When you hit the gas, your vehicle will go. And not only that, but after a couple of tanks, you'll start to see increased gas mileage. And like you just heard from one of the callers, I think his name was Jerry, he saw an increased gas mileage over 4 miles per gallon. That adds up to money in your pocket. And when you purchase Get More Tank, you get 5 tablets. When you use 1 tablet per tank of gas, and if you're getting 20% better mileage, that's a free tank of gas. Do the math. You spend $20, get a free tank of gas? That makes every bit of sense in the world. So go to our website, TheWTFReports.com, click on the sponsors page, and use the promo code REDPILL101, and you'll get 10% off. All right, that said, why is it we're in this predicament? Why is it that so many people are so confused? So many people just don't know what's going on. I mean, I've seen those interviews where people go, this guy goes up to somebody and he says, hey, how many stars are on the United States flag? And people don't know. Who was our first president? And people don't know. As a matter of fact, when they don't know, they actually start to laugh. Like it's funny. It's funny that you don't know any history at all. What countries border the United States? China. Okay, what country is the Panama Canal in? I don't know. How many continents are on the planet Earth? I don't know. They think that's a riot. They think it's funny. How did we get there? Maybe George Carlin could tell you.
There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. What organization do you figure has all that control? AIPAC. And what group does AIPAC represent? I don't even have to say it. When you've got only 3% of the U.S. population belonging to a specific ethnic group, and then you look at the ownership of all the media, all of big pharma, all of big oil, and they're like 95%, 99%, the same ethnic group, whichever one you want to insert in there, I think we all know. And this is one of the reasons why the Department of Education sucks. Go ahead, George, tell it like it is.
They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get...
Ooh, who's he talking about? Lobbying.
What they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. There's a reason education sucks.
Yeah, okay, there really is. I think we all know the answer to that. This isn't hard to figure out, folks. There is an enemy within, and it's not those who hold tight to the Jewish faith. The original Jews, no. However, there are imposters. There are those who have hijacked the name Jewish, and they wrap themselves. You realize before the state of Israel was established in 1948, do you know what the flag that represents Judaism was? It was, the blue and white stripes, yeah, but it wasn't a Star of David. It was a menorah, but that was taken away. And once they established the state, the Zionist state of Israel, they stuck the star that's called the Star of David, but David never had a star. You know who did have a star? Moloch, the star of Remphan, and you can look it up in the Bible. You see, we're dealing with a group of people who are not beholden to the Jewish faith. They serve another God, and I talked about that last week. Harold Wallace Rosenthal was a rabbi who did a very in-depth interview back in 1979, I think it was, 76 or something like that. And it's posted on rents.com. I can give you the URL later. But the bottom line here is that the individuals who are in charge of the Zionist state or Zionism, they do not serve Yahweh. They don't serve the God of the Old Testament. Absolutely not. They're open about it. And they have hijacked the word Jew, and they have hijacked the entire idea of Israel, and they're imposters. And that's covered in Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9. And once people get that through their heads, all of a sudden their jaw will drop and their eyebrows will fade into their hairline and say, oh my God, I was fooled. But you know how it is, people never like to admit that they've been fooled. Mark Twain said it's always easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. But anyway, I don't mean to keep banging the drum about this, but this has been going on for a long time, a long, long time. As a matter of fact, if you haven't seen the movie Network, remember the movie Network? A lot of you folks don't know it. I'm sure you know about the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, because that was a huge movie back in 1976. But you see, there were two movies up for an Academy Award. There was Cuckoo's Nest and there was Network. And if Cuckoo's Nest had come out either a year before or after, Network would have gotten the Academy Award. And the dialogue in that movie is insane. It is just amazing. And I'm sure you've heard this. I'll play it again. The whole story revolved around a network anchorman who was having a bit of a nervous breakdown. But in doing so, he was spewing the truth. And this is the big speech that everybody quotes from. Anyway, this is again an excerpt from the movie Network, and I'm playing it simply because it's almost 50 years old. 1976. It's 49 years old, and it stands today as it did then. Listen to this dissertation by the fictitious anchorman Howard Beale.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67.
Say,
I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Who are you talking to, Herb?
CGG, Atlanta.
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Herb?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted?
But first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
They're yelling in Baton Rouge.
Get up out of your chair.
Son of a bitch! We struck the mother load!
Stick your head out of the window, open it, and stick your head out and keep yelling and yell, I'm as mad as hell, I'm not going to take this anymore. Just get up from your chairs right now. Go to
Where
the
you
window.
going? I want to see if anybody's yelling.
Window, open it and stick your head out and yell and keep yelling. I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore. I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore.
I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore.
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
I'm mad as hell.
So the question is, dear campers, when do you reach that point where you say you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore? What's it going to take to get America off of their big fat butts and get involved? I mean, it's terrifying to see how many Americans, we love to, sing along with Lee Greenwood. I'm proud to be an American where I get to think I'm free. Yeah, come on, folks. It's supposed to be of, by, and for the people. But what kind of government do you end up with when the people have decided to get up from the table and they don't want to play anymore? So when the cat's away, the rats will play. And that's what we've got, because too many Americans are complacent. Too many Americans are apathetic. Too many people have allowed themselves to fall into that brainwashed mindset, oh, I'm only one person. Oh, my vote doesn't count anymore. What am I going to do? This is the mentality that people have. They've basically been emasculated by years and years and years of browbeating and propaganda to make you think that you don't have the power. But you do have the power. You just have to exercise it. Can you imagine? If all the people out there that are watching what's going on over there in Palestine, if all of the people, there's millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people all over the world that have discovered their testicular fortitude that'll go out there and do something. But here in the United States, oh man, I can't make a difference. Yeah, okay, as long as you believe that, then that's what you're going to get. But anyway, I just, I'm so frustrated. I've been screaming this stuff from the rooftops and blowing the horn for over 30 years. Well, actually 35 years now. Yeah, back in 1990, that's when I got really inspired and really started to go at it. But I don't know. What's it going to take? All right, I'm going to change gears a little bit. Have you noticed how many earthquakes are going on? Earthquakes all over the world. Big ones. Up in Kamchatka, they've had, an 8.0? That's a huge earthquake. That's the biggest earthquake that they've recorded in, 600 years? And there are volcanoes that are erupting that have been dormant for the same amount of time, all around the ring of fire. And but there are certain areas that are strangely quiet right now. The west coast of the United States has had a couple of small rumblings, but nothing big. And of course, a lot of people now are watching Yellowstone. Well, there are people that are posting videos of all these animals that are supposedly leaving Yellowstone. Buffalo, bison, elk, mountain lions, coyotes. All these animals, and they're traveling in large groups. Since when do you see grizzly bears all hanging out? I saw a video of maybe, 15 or 20 grizzly bears Now, that was AI. Well, if it's AI, it's a real good one. But the point is, though, is that, there's a lot of earthquakes that are going on all over the world right now. And I couldn't help but think of an interview that Clayton Morris was doing with Ed Hecker. Now, Ed Hecker he worked for Raytheon, and he was in Antarctica. And he had a very high security clearance. In fact, he had access to the entire facility down there. But I wanted to play this little bit of information here because everybody's a little bit concerned about all these earthquakes that are going on, especially those of us here in the United States. We all have heard about the supervolcano at Yellowstone National Park, and that's been making some very interesting noises as well. So anyway, this is an excerpt from an interview that was done last October. And I couldn't help but think about it with all of these earthquakes coming up. You need to hear what this gentleman said when he was being interviewed by Clayton Morris. Listen to this.
The station has a system known as the IceCube Neutrino Detector. It is currently the world's largest phased array transmitter. This is basically Tesla technology. I'm sure a lot of the audience is familiar with systems like HARP, which is effectively built on the surface of the Earth, and it has a 2D situation. It has length and width as far as a phased array goes. The South Pole Station differs in so far as it also goes down deep into the ice, giving it a third dimension, length, width, and height. So it has exponential more, I guess you would say, capabilities, targeting discharge of power. It's like HARP on steroids, basically. So, yes, it generated the earthquakes that occurred in Christchurch, New Zealand in February of 2011.
And you told me before, I'll let you go on in a second, but when you and I chatted on the phone a few weeks ago, you mentioned, I don't know if you can say this now or if I'm telling tales out of school here, but you were speaking to a source that you worked with at the South Pole Station. Since you left there, said the technology has gotten so advanced now with these generation of earthquakes that it's like an autopilot system in an aircraft. I think you described it, that it's so advanced now, it would blow your mind at how targeted these earthquakes are that they can use from this South Pole Station.
Basically, the trick of it all, one of the things that I learned when I went to this event in Alamosa, Colorado, I spoke with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Simeon Hine, and he was doing a presentation on ball lightning. And one of the things that he discussed was how there are reports when earthquakes occur that ball lightning, I guess you would say, is ejected, manufactured by the earthquake. So I engaged him in a dialogue, and I said, well, Doc, wouldn't there be some sort of symmetry there that if an earthquake can discharge ball lightning, wouldn't we be able to deliver ball lightning to generate an earthquake? And he agreed that it's just simply the matter of being able to deliver said energy, which for all practical purposes, think of it having an explosive capacity to it. So if you can wirelessly transmit energy from a power supply somewhere on Earth, deliver it to another location, the end result is quite simply an earthquake. Wireless transmission of energy is something that Nikola Tesla has brought up, 100 some odd years ago now. So this is the state of the union, is that Nikola Tesla discovered this stuff. The powers that be absconded his information. They cordoned it off away from the mass population and have been monopolizing the use of these types of technologies for many decades now. We, the people, are suffering under this monopoly of technology by our oppressors. It's literally just that simple. And that would be the motive for them to have agents, for lack of a better term, flooding the disclosure community with BS to muddy the waters and confuse us, we the people, so that we can continue to be wholly oppressed and well managed.
Yep. So, if you catch the general gist of what he was saying, yes, the technology does exist for them to generate earthquakes anywhere that they want on the planet. So maybe this is their way of softening the target. Now, we all know that they have, there's a lot of people now have been questioning what's going on with weather manipulation. And you could see, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the reports of huge floods that are going on in areas that normally don't have these floods. Now, I mean, when I say softening the target, I mean, when you have an entire population of people who have been beaten down and oppressed financially, spiritually, technically, I mean, when your house is wiped out by a flood, I mean, you're not exactly in a position to be able to stand up and fight for yourself. So this is what they call softening the target. When you're beaten down, on all different fronts, you don't have any fight left. You're just trying to survive. And that's where we are in this country right now. And we are under attack on so many different fronts. And I've mentioned that so many times. The number one agenda for the globalists is to reduce the population any way they can. And it's been going on for years. As a matter of fact, Anthony Fauci, remember Anthony Fauci? Back in 1984, he was discussing about how you can destroy a certain group of population. And I have a document to back this up. Listen to Anthony Fauci. This is back in 1984.
How this disease, which we surmised early on, started off in the male homosexual population in this country. It was very simple. It's straightforward epidemiology. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population in which the spread among those individuals, if it's sexual contact spread, it's a perfect setup to spread.
Yes, so you infect a certain population. Well, would they actually do that? Do you think they'd actually do that? Well, I'll tell you what. I have here the Department of Defense appropriations for the year 1970. And in Part 6, there's a section in there on chemical and biological warfare. And in that section, it says, and I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I can damn near quote it. It says, within a period of 5 to 10 years, it would be possible to produce a new infective microorganism, an agent that does not naturally exist, and for which no natural immunity could be acquired. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. They said they could do it within 5 to 10 years. And in 1975, the WHO began a massive inoculation program in Haiti, San Francisco, and New York. And what do you know? A couple of years later, AIDS showed up in Haiti, Africa, San Francisco, and New York. And you just heard Tony Fauci talking about it. Is this deliberate? Well, what do you think? You don't have to, be a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to figure this stuff out. But then again, you don't have to be a registered, licensed, and certified pyrotechnic expert to have a valid claim of fire. This is no-brainer stuff. You don't have to have a college degree to figure this stuff out. But this has been going on for years and years and years. And unfortunately, most Americans are more concerned with what's going on the baseball diamond, more concerned with the latest movie that's coming out or what's on Netflix. Oh, I don't want to miss American Ninja Warrior, whatever that show is. Or there's, America's Voice or something, America's Got Talent, something like that. But that's where people's heads are at. And it's so frustrating. Like I said, yours truly have been doing this for, better part of almost 35 years now. And the word frustration doesn't do it for me. But anyway, I got enough time here. Let me see. Did I get to all my clips here? I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Yes, there's one more issue I wanted to throw on the table. We've only got a couple of minutes left. Have you noticed that there is a media blackout about what's going on in Los Angeles? There are huge demonstrations and protests going on opposing what's going on with ICE. All of these people that are being rounded up and deported. And yeah, I have to agree that some of this stuff is pretty heavy-handed and it's heartbreaking. But and I understand why these people are protesting. But they are not understanding, or they refuse to recognize the simple fact that if they hadn't been right lockstep, goose-stepping right along with the Democrats, with the Biden-Harris administration, that opened up this border, by the way, which I believe is an act of treason. And then, of course, you had Alejandro Mayorkas, who denied over and over and over that the border was open. Oh, we have a secure border. We have a secure... No, we didn't have a secure border. And there are estimates from Border Patrol agents that were over 30 million illegals that have come into this country. 30 million. Let that settle in. Now, the Democrats, I'm sorry, you guys created this mess. You guys screwed up real bad. Real bad. And now we have a real mess on our hands. And if they were to go at it every single day, I mean, I did the math a couple of weeks ago. If you want to get rid of 10 million, let's say 10 million, you'd have to be deporting something like, 23,000 a day to get rid of them in a year. I forget what the numbers were, something like that. And there's nowhere near that many people being deported. So this is going to take years and years and years and years to straighten out. And God help us when some of these military age males who came flooding across the border by themselves without their wives and children. No, these were all military age males traveling alone, many of them from China. Yeah, Chinese guys. And they don't get out of China unless China lets them out. And not only that, but Alejandro Mayorkas and HAIS, all these different agencies, they had all of these little help stations all through Central America to help clothe and feed and supply some of these immigrants in their long journey to come across Mexico and come into this country. Many of them were given addresses. Here, if you get into the country, here, you go to Cincinnati, you go to Denver, you go to Seattle, you go to New York, you go to Boston, you go to Chicago, you go to Tampa. You'll be taken care of. We got a safe house for you. You'll be fed, you'll be sheltered, you'll be briefed, you'll be supplied, you'll be given your missions, and when you get the word go, you go. Don't think that that's not set up here, folks. And yes, we got Tren de Agua and MS-13 and all these other bad guys. And they're in the country now. So all the Democrats that are out there, all the liberals that are screaming bloody murder, say, that ICE is being so heavy-handed and they got masks on and they're grabbing people. Well, this is a problem that you guys created. And I'm sorry. I just, I don't understand why they don't see this. You made this bed. You created this mess. So you got to own it. So I'm sorry if ICE is being a bit heavy-handed, and yes, they are, and it's heartbreaking to see, some of these people who have been in this country for, 10 years, 20 years, but they never got themselves, certified. They never went through the process to become a citizen. They've been living under the radar all this time. And don't think that these illegal immigrants that came in, that they're going to stand up and say, here I am, I'm right over here, come and take me, go ahead and deport me. No. They're going to integrate, they're going to hide, they're going to do everything that they can so they can stay in this country hidden. So this is the chore that the ICE agents have to try to find these guys. And you just don't know. I mean, some of these guys, some of these immigrants may have been here for a couple of years, but hey, they're sleeper cells. I don't know how we're going to solve this problem, but it's going to take a while, folks. And it was done on purpose. I did have one more clip I just realized. Charlie Kirk did a little bit of an explanation as to what the Cloward-Piven directive is, so I'll probably touch upon that tomorrow. So anyway, that said, we've got a real problem on our hands that was created by, I don't want to call them the Democratic Party. I'll call them the Communist Socialist Party because that's what they've been doing. They've been doing everything that they can to basically destroy this country. Anyway, that said, that's going to wrap it up for the Monday edition of the WTF Reports. I hope that you're enjoying the broadcast, and if you are, please support us. Do business with our sponsors. And we also have a GoFundMe there if you'd like to help to fund this effort so we can grow this program, get onto some bigger platforms. And any donation that you want to make. And plus, you could pick up some merch. We got the WTF Reports baseball caps, T-shirts, and coffee mugs, and also the T-shirt with those 3 magic words, bribery, coercion, and blackmail. So anyway, that said, once again, I humbly and respectfully request that you visit our website and do business with us. That said, it's going to wrap it up. I will be back again tomorrow with more of the news they hope and pray you never hear. I'm Dave Von Kleist. These are the WTF Reports. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay free, and I'll see you tomorrow.